It easily brightens the image or the video that you're shooting. Then I should recommend to watch this video. The cost of this setup is very minimal compared to a professional setup, but it works really great. Do a great work lightening it up. As you can see here, it does a lot for the actual image. And with one more light you get even better system like this. So stay tuned.
I start with the arms. They are regular arms for mounting lights and other things on tables. But they work really well for mounting gear like cameras and lights as well. To mount the gear itself I need some hardware between the actual arms and the camera stand. So I picked out a piece of steel bar that I had, and I'm marking out where to cut and where to drill. The angle grinder makes a quick task of cutting the steel in pieces to what I need. I'm also making sure to round off all the edges on the piece before I actually cut them off totally. The sharp drill makes quick action of getting the hole down. A normal screw is used to actually attach the device, and I'm welding this in place. A quick cleanup, of course, before I will be adding some paint to it. And I noticed rather quickly that the paint I took was not black, it was green. But that doesn't really matter. It's now time for lighting. I'm using scavenged LED lights from my old stairs. The ones that I have here are white LEDs, and they aren't that bright, nor are they that tight together, but they will work. I did fetch an aluminium plate that I found, and that's what I'm going to mount everything on. It's light and it also dissipates eventual heat that could potentially build up, though those lights aren't that heavy in that sense. Marking the middle point where I'm going to have the holder itself and drilling the hole. I'm also going to mark where the nut is going to be, because there I'm not able to mount any LEDs. I'm adding some extra double-sided tape, because the double-sided tape that are left on LEDs are useless now, so I'm just adding a rather thick layer of that part, and that will easily work with the LED lights. Due to the lack of heat from them, this will not come loose anytime soon. Cutting the LED strips into desirable length. This is I mean you can have any length that you want. I choose the one that fits the best over this width of the plate. And I'm crudely attaching them to it. Nothing fancy here. I will never be looking to it, so I don't really care how it looks on this side. Pre-soldering the ends, because here is all the wires going to be attached. And I'm basically using Ethernet wire picked from a normal Cat5 cable that I found, and they will work really good for this scenario. It's not that much current per strip, so the thickness of itself is not a problem. Making sure that I get the positive and negative to the correct ends. I'm now twinning them together and making sure that they fit, and you can see that I'm using a quick connect for this purpose. Adding the last couple of LED strips as well, and making sure that the ends are nice and tidy. And of course soldering the last ones. It's now time to test them out. I use my trusted bench power supply, around 12 volt, and here you can see me dimming them up and down. Around 1.9 ampere to fulfill this all, so I need a PSU that can suit that or work with that. But before that's done, I attached the wiring on the back side. I did fetch a PSU. I found one that could give me 2 amps, and this one is what I'm going to use. I found a box to house everything in. I need a button to turn it on and off, and to show the status of if they are running. Measuring the switch to make sure that I know how big hole I'm going to drill. Using a step drill to do this, make a quick work of it. Then it's just a matter of popping it into place. There you go. The switch I choose was with built-in LED for 12 volts, so it fits perfectly for this scenario. I'm also attaching a 2.1mm plug that works directly towards the PSU that I chosen. Cleaning out the burrs so it fits nice and dandy. And then it's just a matter of screwing it into place. I now open up a hole where the 2 wires comes in. And making sure that I know the polarity of the switch itself. Pre-thinning. And then soldering the wire into place. You can of course add the other wires as well into the housing, but I skipped that in this build here. And as you can see, the switch turns the light on and everything seems to work, so it's time to close this up. To get this closed up, we have a little bit of work to do because there are some wires in the behind that we need to move first. Closing the box, then it's time to do a little bit of sanding, and we add more double-sided tape. The red one is a lot more tighter and harder than the green one. So I'm using this on the back side here because I don't want those parts to get loose at all. Now it's time to cut down the black wires so the lengths itself are a good tight fit. And it now looks okay. Attaching the side, and I could see that it instantly worked. It's time to mount it onto the arm. And I do that by a washer in between, and then it's just a matter of attaching the screw that I had earlier and tightening it. It's now time to test out, but before we mount it on the normal stand. Attaching the PSU and test it on. And as you can see, it does a great job lightening things up. Now it's just a matter of positioning it correctly and setting the white balance on the camera so this will work out.